July. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is July, which is Disability Pride Month. I don't know if you knew that. Another group of plays to show you bangers, complete bangers. I don't think I have anything special to announce this month or anything like that. I usually ramble a lot at the beginnings, but honestly, I don't have much to say. So let's just hear about the first play. Hey, how's it going? It's the first week of July. I have written a play, and let me tell you about it. I don't know why I started like that. This format is pretty one and done at this point. Allow me to tell you about this week's play. So, you may not know this about me, but I have some siblings, including a brother who I love very much. He's a good brother to me. I think our relationship has gone great through our life. And I wanted to write a show about a brother relationship that maybe didn't go so well and talk about how relationships can kind of break up and get worse, and then you can bring them back and pull them back together. This show in particular is about two brothers who, one of them there's a large age gap between them, and because of that, they're kind of disconnected. They want to get more connected, so they decide together to make a little puppet show. And I love puppetry, so of course I'm including it whenever I can. And in this particular show, the brothers, one of them wrote this very simple plot that it just involves a group of brothers who find each other and decide to keep living with each other in their lives. And the other brother wants to have fun because he's younger and he doesn't see the point of doing a show that's educational and informative and representational instead of something that's just supposed to be fun. Puppets are fun. That's what he keeps saying. So the show, it talks about how when you build a relationship, you sort of have to find what works with the two people in the relationship in order to keep building it. You can't just set down some building blocks and be like, we did it. You have to actually make the house, you know? So this show, this piece, it's somewhat long, and I really like the format of it. So if you do go down and check it out in the drive below, you'll find that the format is one brother's script is on the left side and the other brother's script is on the right. They talk over each other. They leave pauses where the other one should be speaking, but nobody's speaking. It's kind of interesting. I was playing around with the column idea, and I wanted to see how doing it like that might represent conversation and how people actually talk a little bit better. So I hope you can see that in the play. Please check it out. It's down in the drive folder. And I'm proud of this one. I think it's a good one, and it is a complete story. I did finish it. That is the first week of June. Oh my God, I'm so hot. It's so hot out here. Sometimes this year it has gotten up to 40 degrees. That's high. Stay safe out there. Make sure you're putting on sunscreen and drinking water. That's it for me. So this play, it was very nice to write and try to have that dynamic, that energy that kind of happens in sibling relationships, and try it out with this column format. So please be sure to read that one and tell me what you think. If we look at the categories though, 9 pages, 2,044 words. I put themes of family, we also have creation, and then real versus ideal. I think that's an important one in this one. What is the reality of the situation versus what is the thing that they both want it to look like? It only took me about 2 hours to write. You'll see that for most of the ones this week. I didn't spend too long writing them. Again, I'm pretty busy. I just finished my work period with a theater company that I was working for, and I also have a show coming up in a festival that I've been preparing for. So I didn't have a huge amount of time this month to write these plays, so I generally picked a day and just sat down and wrote them. No prep or planning. Medium potential. I do think it could go somewhere. I kind of explore a lot, like brother dynamics, because me and my brother have a great dynamic, I think. When I put medium potential here, I'm thinking more of like, it could go somewhere, but it's not actually, it's more like the ideas could go somewhere. This specific play maybe won't, I don't know. 85% comedy, 15% drama for sure. And then my friend approval rating comes from Jake. Jake said that he connected to it as a sibling himself, which is nice. Called it Mr. Punch-esque, pretty nice as well. I think that's a very classic puppet show. And he wanted clarity on the journeys of both of the characters. What are they actually going from and what are they going to? Very good point. So I'm gonna say, yep, I agree with that one, Jake. I should probably clarify that a little better. Costumes are unimportant. I think it's just the puppets that should have a nice style to them. My favorite line is, I'm a very sociable person. I've met a lot of fish, which is coming from Michael, who is playing the Dread Pirate Marcus in that line. My favorite character is definitely Hilda, and it, just so you know, a sense of what the voice I think should sound like. It should be like, oh, my great Dread Pirate Marcus. Like super nasally, it's super up there. Not that though. And the overall rating is 6. It's pretty good. I did dock it down a few points because yeah, it definitely could use some work. I reread it as I was preparing this video and I was like, oh, actually, not so good, not quite so good. But yeah, that is our first play, How to Save a Relationship. Pretty good for what it is. I say let's hear about the next play then. Engage. This week's play has to do with a bridge. That bridge. I think it's the Angus L. MacDonald Bridge. This is in Nova Scotia, where I live, and it's pretty famous. Only 2 people who live or have ever driven across it. So I guess not really that famous. What I wanted to talk about is this week's play has to do with this bridge. It has to do with this bridge, it has to do with a tour guide, and it has to do with Indigenous land. I specifically am in Chipuktuk, which is the name for the city that I'm in, Halifax. It was placed upon this land. Chipuktuk literally means the Great Harbor, which is right next to us in the sea. There's a bunch of other names within that area. We, the Atlantic region, is part of a region called Mi'kma'ki, of the Mi'kmaq people. Those people, they were here long before any European settlers arrived. I am European. I am a European settler. So this play has to do with guilt. A guilt that a tour guide feels who works near the MacDonald Bridge, feels a lot of guilt for heritage and past mistakes that the country has made, and is sort of grappling with those alongside their position as someone who explains to foreigners important locations and events in our country's history and the land's history. This particular tour guide is sort of grappling with that particular grouping, the country versus the land. It's a good play, I think. It's a completed play, and it's one of the ones that I got another few pages, kind of hefty word count, which is pretty nice because I feel like this one deserves to have more space to talk about its story, because at the end it sort of deals with a little bit darker of a topic. I honestly would love to see how people respond to this one, because I do think it's coming from my particular experience, which is not an experience that I would say encapsulates much more than a white experience. My experience is one of privilege, and I wanted to talk about that privilege, the land that I live on. So that's what this play is. I still think it could be way improved, as always, but give it a read if you'd like. I haven't named it yet. I figured it would be something about the historic MacDonald Bridge. I called it historic, by the way. It's not very historic. It's just a snappier title, maybe. So yeah, take a look or read about this bridge down in the description. So this play is called On the Edge of the Historic MacDonald Bridge. It's 6 pages, it's 2,706 words. Themes of culture and history and duty. Time writing, it took me about 5 hours. And for prep and planning, I kind of I had this summer job at a national park once, and I think that's where most of my thoughts and experiences came from this one. So, big surprise, I actually did prep and plan something. Potential is low, comedy's 30%, drama's 80%. Friend approval rating comes from Eric. Eric said, who are they talking to? And he has another question, which is, could we learn about the occupation earlier? So I think he had a little hard time figuring out who Pierrot is actually talking to. He thinks the bridge or something else. Definitely true. I think it's wishy-washy. And he wants to know the tour guide occupation that our main character has. Could that come up a little earlier? because he said it's a little bit weird of a reveal later when it's pretty obvious up until that point. So I was like, well, fair enough. Costumes should definitely be the Parks green khakis that they have at Parks Canada. I think that'll be perfect. My favorite line is, cars aren't soundproof. I say that to say, you know, we can hear you. I think that's just a true fact that people need to keep in their head. Sometimes I walk past a car and they're on a call with somebody and the voice of the person talking through the phone in the car is like getting blasted on their speakers. I'm like, this sounds like a private conversation. You should probably not do it through your car phone. Just maybe, I don't know. And I give it a 6 as well. And definitely Piero's the favorite character. He's the only one there. Yeah, you'll see 6s and 6. I'm like, they could be way better. I kind of, whenever I do something long and ambitious like this, I'm always like, I could have really refined it. So I think that's why these are lower than anything else there. I'll pass it over to past me for another summation of a play. Take it away. Hello, humans. It is I, an alien, as you can tell from my non-historic dress. I have come here in foreign attire to tell what was that? They already have top hats on, right? That's alien technology. I can't believe this. This week's play is about space, but it's actually about Earth. It's about spacelings coming to Earth, chasing down an aberrant wasp that they know is in a mountain. I don't think there's any focus in this play. It's a simple exploration of belief versus non-belief, juxtaposing that with sort of ridiculous alien technology, over-the-top language, comedic ending. It's just a fun little play. It's not meant to say much of anything. I just wanted to have some fun this week, write something smaller since I've been writing all these huge works recently, huge in comparison to how much I usually write, and just give myself a little mental break. Previously, I had been focusing my work a lot on like relevant issues and things that I'm passionate about. And this week, I had quite a lot going on in my life. It's the end of this work period that I'm in, this contract, and I had a lot of events I needed to gear up for. So I wanted to just do something fun. So this week's play is a fun little dialogue between two space characters, aliens maybe, or part of a space federation. As you can tell, I like Star Trek. Space, the frontier that's a little bit, it's not the last one, but it's right, like if you go all the way to the end, it's right before that one. So yeah, I just wanted to have some fun and write something stupid. I don't know why I'm shutting it down like this. I shouldn't call my own work stupid. I just kind of got hit by this like sense that I needed to explain why I don't think this particular play is groundbreaking. And you know, not every play I make has to be groundbreaking. So actually, I'm just gonna leave it at that. This is a cute little romp, dialogue about space and belief. Check it out. Okay, Gods of the Future is the name of this play. 5 pages, 759 words. I took 2 themes here. It's love versus life, where Bug is thinking, here's something I want, and Ab is saying, here's what we need to do to survive. And then also reality versus fiction. Are the gods actually real? Who knows? It took me about an hour to write because, like I said, I generally think them through and then sit down and write them one big rote. No prep or planning for this one. Low potential. I don't really know what I would do with this. I would probably need some like help with the dramaturgy or something like that. 60% comedy, 30% drama. It's pretty much comedic more than drama. Friend approval rating this week comes from Hal. Hal says there's a good dynamic between the characters. He wants to know more about the world, and he wants to know more about their tech and why they can't use it. I think those are both interesting questions. It just tells me that it's a good play that could be expanded on. So, you know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm gonna change this right now and put the potential if I could write, oh my God, to medium, because it seems like it's actually pretty good. I trust that. There's a fly near my head, it's annoying. For the costumes, it should definitely be like futuristic spacesuits. My favorite line here is, "It doesn't stop being exoplanetary interference, even if we get on their level." That's from Ab, and my favorite character is probably Bug, because I think Bug is more whimsical. I like whimsy. And I gave it a 7. It's a little bit better than the other two, only because it's short enough that you can't see the cracks. So this last play was actually written by someone else. All of these people using AI these days, generative AI, and outsourcing all of their work, I'm like, hey, actually, it's a pretty good idea. I'm pretty tired. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. So I outsourced this last play. I just sent it to this guy I found on some internet thing. And so he sent a video explaining, the idea behind the play. So let's just watch it. All right. Okay, well, I'm just gonna, I don't know what that is. What, who is this? Why do they write this? I really don't like this. I might not do this outsourcing thing. And yeah, Jesus. Okay, well, so I don't think I'll outsource these plays anymore. But the good news is that whoever this is did seem to send all the categories. So I'll just talk about those. Is that my kitchen? I think I'm being stalked. So this play is called Fork. It's 2 pages. It's 245 words. The themes are fork. It took 30 minutes to write. That's not very long, man. Even I try to get for an hour almost every time. No proper planning, very low potential. 100% comedy, no drama. The quote for the friend approval rating is just ha 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 from somebody named Lorenzo. The trustworthiness just says sure. Potential costumes, clothing. Favorite line, honey, have you seen my fork? From Marty. Favorite character, Francine, and overall rating is a 10. I don't know what this is. If you go down into the description and find all of the plays available to read, skip that one. I think it's got a virus in it or something, because I don't think this is a good idea. Well, with that said, I guess this is the end of the video and the end of July. Man, sorry, I'm still thrown off by that video. So yeah, I'll be back for August. I have a show premiering at the end of August, so I'm sure the last week might be a little tricky for me. I'm gonna try to plan my days a little better and make it so that I can actually write a play in every week with some time to spare. As you can see, these last weeks they got a lot shorter. I've been doing all of these like huge bunch of pages long plays, and I think I was getting a little tired, so I just toned it down for the end here. There's a plane passing by, which I guess is just a great signifier that everything's going wrong and I should end the video. Thanks.